Hey everyone, breaking news. Zillow is officially out of the house buying business. It is official. It is gone. That's it. Earlier for the last week, we had heard the rumors of them slowing their house buying. They said then that they were going to be pausing for this year and then revisiting. And then over the last 24 hours, they have just officially, the CEO has officially said, that is it. We're not going to buy any more houses, period, forever. We are getting out of this business. What happened? So in this video, I'm going to cover precisely what happened. I'm going to analyze the reasons why they decided to get out of this business. Also, what it means for the other people that are in this iBuying business, such as Open Door. What does this mean for you as the buyer of properties? If you're looking to live at a house, right? You're looking for a house to live in. What does it mean for you as a real estate investor if you're buying properties and closing on them, or maybe a wholesaler? Those are all the questions that I'm going to answer here in today's video. And this is Zillow to shutter the home buying business and lay off 2,000 employees. So I'm going to go through and going to pick out some notables here, and we're going to go ahead and discuss it. So approximately 25% or 2,000 people. That's a big part of the workforce, which, illustrates the fact that they made a huge bet with this to put that many human bodies on this. They're going to be laid off. So unfortunately for them, they're going to be laid off. And the company is going to take a write down of over $500 million related to the shutdown. That is a significant amount of money. Shareholders are not going to be happy. And I'm going to show you in a second what the stock did today. Now, it was in 2018 when Zillow began rolling this out. And it was planning a big future with Zillow offers. It was projected, right? Now, keep in mind is that Zillow's core business is selling leads to real estate agents. You go there to Zillow, you go get an estimate of what your property is worth, you go look for homes, and then you submit your information. And then now they take your information and they sell it to a real estate agent who's going to call and pester you and try to get you to use them in an effort to, for either buying or selling the house. So this was a side thing that they really, their core business model is the agent business. And so they were looking at creating an additional revenue stream of $20 billion, expecting to purchase 5,000 home sales, homes per month. So 60,000 properties. Now, in the whole scheme of things, just so you know, right now, they're over, 2020, there were over 6 million properties that were bought and sold, right, in the U.S., single-family home residential properties. And so, the 60,000 represents a very small amount of the housing market. So just with that small piece of the housing market, they were expecting to make some big money. And they were expecting to make that big money because if they buy the house, then you're going to use them for other ancillary services, title, mortgage, etc. So we're going to be able to collect money from you as a customer in a variety of different ways, right? Now, they said here that they determined that the unpredictability in forecasting home prices far exceeds what we anticipated, and that would cause a problem with scaling Zillow offers. Now, I'm going to review the letter to the shareholders from the CEO in just a second. So we'll get into the reasons why. Now, here, I did want to make a comment about a couple things. Number one is Zillow said that they were only able to convert 10% of the sellers who asked for an offer. So they were expecting to convert more sellers. They were expecting that this was going to be a tremendous opportunity for sellers, and the sellers are going to say, you know what, take my house. Why would the sellers not take them up on that offer? Now, it could be that Zillow did not make appropriate offers to the sellers that they felt was good enough for them to go ahead and go with Zillow. So there's a variety of different reasons, but they were not able to convert enough sellers. By the way, if you're finding this information helpful and you say, Chico, this is great information, I love this video, you know what? You got to smash the like button, make a comment and say, Chico, this is fabulous. What they thought was that if they continued to buy properties, right, because the market started to soften, and this is important, the market in their eyes began to soften during the months of the summer. And so then what happened is that they bought properties at a really high rate and at too much money. Now, as the market softened, now they're not able to sell those properties here. They have to now adjust their pricing here. And then they realize, oh, the market's continuing to decline potentially. How are we going to adjust our pricing so that now we can stay ahead of the curve and not lose so much money on these properties? But yet we got all these other ones that we sold that now we have to offload. So now they're stuck. They're stuck in a bit of a problem. Now, what this is interesting. What the other iBuyers are saying. So Redfin CEO says that they're committed to iBuying. However, they're going to keep methodically and carefully expanding that service. What they're saying here is that, okay, we see what Zillow did. We're not really sure what we want to do. But right now, we're just going to take it a little bit easy, just going to slow it down a little bit. Now, that to me tells me that we're going to see how this all plays out. And if Zillow just ends up like losing a ton of money from all these properties that they bought, and then now they got a heap of trouble, then we're going to be like, we're going to hold off a second. Now, Open Door had a different stance, but there's a big difference between Open Doors and Zillow. Open Door had a different stance, and they said that, hey, we're open for business. We're open for business. Bring us your houses. We want to buy them. But here's the thing, Open Doors' only business is buying houses. They don't got any other business model except for that. Zillow had an option. They had, you know, hey, we don't have to do that. We'll keep on doing this other thing that brings us a ton of money. We'll figure it out. Open Door doesn't have that luxury. If Open Door decides, oh, we don't want to be in the buying business anymore, guess what? They're out of business in essence because there is no other business. And so that's the thing to consider when you look at the Open Doors response. Now, let's take a look at what happened in the stock market. Zillow, obviously, wasn't going to have a good day. When you look at here, and we look at, say, over the last, let's look at over the last year, right? Here, this is, they were good here, but you can see that it's been on a downward trend, right? And they haven't been doing well. But if we look at the last 5 days, you can see that big drop right here. Bam. So Zillow stock took a little bit of a beating. And I happen to think that it's probably going to take a bigger beating as more unfolds about the losses that they're going to incur, especially, when the next set of earnings comes in, right? Now, Open Door also, even though they said, hey, we're still in the house buying business, if we look at here, they had a drop right there. Look at that. Bam. That thing just dropped like a brick right there. Let's look at the last 6 months. They were on the upswing. Open Door was on the upswing. Hey, market's hot. Everybody's, gung ho, right? And then all of a sudden now, oops, a big dip. It'll be interesting to see what happens with Open Door because this is their only business model. So let's take a look at the letter to the shareholders. I'm not going to bore you with all the details here, but I did clip a couple things here. We have experienced a series of extraordinary events, a global pandemic, obviously, freezing of the housing market, and supply demand imbalance that led to a rise in home prices at an unprecedented rate. So as home prices shot up, they want to buy houses, so they were forced to buy houses at these inflated prices. And so now, as the market fluctuates, they're not able to accurately predict where the house prices are going to be. So there's too much volatility in the market for them. Now, because of the volatility, um, they're thinking, okay, well, if we've got a problem now with the houses we bought, how is that problem going to look like when we double or triple and do more of what we're doing? Because in essence, they're looking to 10 times what they're doing right now. And so they're thinking to themselves, this is going to be a problem, right? They also said this home price forecasting volatility also contributed to significant capacity and demand planning changes. Exacerbated. Damn, I can't pronounce that word. Planning challenges by difficult labor and supply chain environment leading to our announcement. So what do they mean by that? They bought all these houses and they now needed to fix these houses. It requires humans and appliances and all those things that are difficult right now to get. We're thinking about redoing our kitchen. They told us, you're lucky if you get appliances 6 months from now. And if Zillow has to fix houses, then where are they going to get the material goods? Labor is at a shortage. Why? Because people don't want to work. It's a combination of things. People don't want to work initially because of the fact that because of the pandemic and unemployment benefits. But the issue that people have now is that people rather do Uber or rather do some sort of gig, and they can just set their own schedule versus working for somebody else. And so there's a labor shortage. And so became a problem for them because they need to fix these properties. The other issue that the labor shortage would cause, obviously, is that now they're having to hold these properties longer than anticipated. If the market starts to move around rather quickly, they're caught. They're caught because they can't get rid of these properties because they need to repair them, but they're stuck because of a lack of labor and supplies. And then now they see the market tanking and they're stuck. We don't know what to do. And so that also caused them for it created a concern for them. A final factor in the decision is that they were only able to convert about 10% of the serious sellers who ask for a Zillow offer, and and have tended to disappoint the roughly 90% who didn't sell to us. Given our hardened position at the top of the seller funnel with more than 220 average monthly unique users and popularity of the Zestimate, we believe that there are better, broader, less risky, more aligned ways of enabling all of our customers who want to move. You also have to think about is what sort of reputation would Zillow get with homeowners that go there and trust them and values, but yet now they may not be happy with an offer from them, or may not be happy with the outcome, right? Because there was a few things that they were doing, such as making an offer and then coming back and asking for concessions or price reductions, and so those are things that didn't sit well with sellers, and so then that would cause sellers not to go to the website, which means that then they wouldn't be able to generate as many leads as they were intending to with real estate agents, right? So let's talk about the aftermath. What do they have to deal with right now? Well, they have to sell 7,000 homes, right? Equaling about $2.8 billion. And that's a lot of properties. Now, they're trying to figure out what they want to do. Do they sell these properties to institutional investors? Um, that's where I think that they are going to want to go, because think about it. You got 7,000 houses in the declining market. Cut your losses, get rid of these properties. Think about individually having to sell 7,000 properties and dealing with individual buyers and mortgage applications and repairs and everything else associated with getting these properties sold, when now they're out of the house buying business. They're not in the, so, and they laid off the 2,000 people. So who's going to manage this entire operation now and make sure that these properties are sold? They've got a big problem. So I happen to think that they're going to go with institutional investors and just take a loss. Maybe that $500 million write down that they have put on the books is based on the fact that they know that they're going to have to cut their losses and get the hell out of here. So what does this mean for you as the home buyer? Well, as the home buyer, really the thing I would walk away from is that the market is softening. So that means that if you've been having a difficult time in finding a home, if you're in a situation where you've put offers on houses but you get bid up, I think that relief is coming because the market is softening, which means that you're going to have a better chance of finding a home. Number two is that all these houses are going to have to be, they're going to have to show up on the market one way or another. And so there's going to be a greater increase in the amount of properties available, which means that that's going to decrease prices. What about you as a real estate investor if you're buying and fixing up properties? Well, and even as a wholesaler, but let's say as just a fix and flip person, you have to be careful with what they just mentioned about the market kind of declining and softening up. So as you buy properties out there in the marketplace, then got to make sure you buy them at the right price. Don't look at what what things have been selling for, 3 months ago. Make some adjustments, maybe 10% or so below what you think the target should be, and adjust your offer accordingly. You, as a wholesaler, does this affect you in any way? It doesn't really affect you. It doesn't affect us. The reason being is that we do nationwide wholesaling. So we target properties all throughout the country. So our market is the entire country. And then what we do is we end up getting a lot of deals from small markets that most of the time are ignored by real estate investors and are completely ignored by Zillow, or were it being ignored by the big iBuyers, right? Because they're buying properties, or were buying properties in major metro areas such as Atlanta, Florida, etc. So as wholesalers doing nationwide wholesaling, we're not really affected. If you're a regular wholesaler in these markets where they're offloading these properties, Just you're gonna need to do some price adjustments in how you buy properties. You're gonna have to buy them, make sure that you're getting them at a good price. Make sure that you're because your investor is gonna want a better price in order to compensate for the change in the market. Now, one thing to consider is this: there's always a lag, right, between the market as it goes down and uh, people's realization that the market has gone down. What I mean by that is that as a wholesaler, you still might be able to buy properties at the prices you've been buying and sell them at the same price you've been selling them to real estate investors, them thinking, oh, I'm going to still get this tremendous amount of money because they may not realize that the market has shifted. That's not on you. Hey, you offer the deal to them and they buy it and it's great. No problems. And you make money and hey, good luck to them. It's not your responsibility, but keep that in mind is that your investor buyers, the ones that are buying properties from you as a wholesaler, they may not realize that the market is softening. If you're a rehabber, then you listening to this video, you know that the market is soft. So just be careful out there. But that is it. This is a moment of rejoicing because Zillow is out of the house buying game. And some of the other players, I'm sure, are going to be throttling a little bit and saying, we're just going to slow it down. Open Door is saying, we're going to go and we're going to just keep on moving forward. Well, what may happen to them? If the market shifts too much, they're going to be like, "Ugh," down. They have a lot of Wall Street money. So who knows? They may survive. But maybe we'll do another video rejoicing on their demise. By the way, if you are a real estate investor and you're interested in nationwide wholesaling in these small markets where there's really no competition, check out one of the videos that'll pop up here or there, somewhere here, that will show you and walk you through specifically nationwide wholesaling and also through the process that we use in order to find motivated sellers using online marketing such as Facebook or Google. Check them out.